I'd have to agree with Eddie Hearn. I mean, Anthony Joshua is one of the biggest stars in boxing, whether he's winning or losing. I mean, inside and outside of the ring, he has people infatuated and obsessed with him. I mean, just check out how the homie describes AJ right here.
A big stallion of a man in Anthony Joshua. He either threw his wife under the bus or you threw her under AJ. A big stallion of a man.
What?
Big stallion of a man. Big stallion of a man.
Huh?
Big stallion of a man.
Nigga, you gay. Nah.
No, did he?
I mean, that was crazy, right? But, you know, if you are looking forward to seeing AJ, and if you are as excited about AJ as the bruv, then stay tuned to this video, because I have some news regarding AJ's imminent return.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? It's your boy Dr. Boxing Talk, back for another YouTube video banger, man. Yes sir, yes ma'am. I know what time it is. The doctor's in the house, man, so check this out. So we have some news regarding Anthony Joshua, you know, the beloved British, you know, Nigerian British champion, you know, heavyweight, man. The guy is a dope boxer, you know, but last time in his last performance he was not doing the best of things, you know what I'm saying? He was on the wrong end of a brutal knockout, you know. Compliments of Daniel Dynamite Dubois. So Eddie Hearn was speaking on Anthony Joshua's potential return next year in 2025 and who it could potentially be against, you know. So not only did he add a timeline, he also went the extra mile and added further specificity onto who he could be potentially fighting against, you know. Check it out right here.
If Dubois comes through Parker, we'd like the rematch, and if Parker wins, we'd love to fight him as well. But of course the Fury fight is a monster.
When do you see Joshua returning?
May, June. He's probably ready to resume training in January. AJ will fight twice in 2025. So once in the summer, once in the winter.
Yeah, so as you see, he's talking about potentially fighting Tyson Fury. So let's talk about that one first. You know, he named some other guys too, but let's start with Tyson Fury. I think this fight would be a big fight still. You know, it's coming a little later than we anticipated, a little later than we would like, but I think it still has a lot of intrigue and a lot of interest. They're both in heavyweight division. You know, they're both stars in England. You know what I'm saying? The UK in general, but particularly it's an all British affair, and I think a lot of people want to see it, myself included. Now, are they both at the peak of their careers? No, they're not at the height, but they haven't dropped so far down and decline to where the fight is worthless, you know. I think it still will have a lot of pull, you know, and I think it will sell out Wembley like AJ did with Daniel Dubois, you know. So I think it's a good fight. I think it's a big fight. And I think this would be the best route to take, assuming that Tyson Fury makes himself available and he's willing to fight, you know, as opposed to going through with retirement, because that's a possibility too, right? So yeah, I think that fight is the best option for Tyson Fury, not just from an interest and an intrigue standpoint, but also from a revenue generation and a monetary standpoint, because I find you know, financially that fight is the biggest, you know, arguably one of the biggest fights in boxing to be made, right? So I think that'd be a good fight, but it depends on what Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, is going to do. So let's move forward with that. Let's say that Tyson Fury is not available, right? Then he has another option that Eddie Hearn mentioned. That would be Daniel Dubois or Joseph Parker. You know, both of these fights conveniently would be rematches, right? You know, because he beat Joseph Parker already a while ago, you know, and then obviously he lost to Daniel Dubois. So a lot of people think that Daniel Dubois is going to beat Joseph Parker for their fight on February 22nd, good Lord willing. I don't think it's such a foregone conclusion. I think that Daniel Dubois will find a way to win, but I think Joseph Parker, stylistically speaking, is a great matchup between the two men. So I think this is going to be a tough fight. I would lean towards Daniel Dubois, but please don't sleep on Joseph Parker. But let's just say the optimal thing happens, right? For boxing fandom, I would say the optimal thing is for Daniel Dubois to win and retain his belt. Gives Anthony Joshua another crack at it and gives him a chance to right that wrong, right? Because whether you like Anthony Joshua or not, he's known for spinning the block once he loses, right? He lost to Andy Ruiz. He spun the block, got the rematch immediately, and he avenged that loss. Then he lost to Alexander Usyk and he spun the block immediately. I mean, it didn't change the outcome. He lost again, but he is known for trying to get that rematch, you know, immediately. So a lot of people are saying that, oh, Anthony Joshua was scared to fight Daniel Dubois. It's like, we got to pump the brakes a little bit, man. We got to give credit where credit is due. Anthony Joshua is known to spin the block and try to get it back immediately. So just because he didn't do it now, I don't think it's right. You know, I think it's a bit disingenuous to assume that he's scared. Now, you wanna analyze your career and make the appropriate assessment, and that assessment is that he's coming on towards the end of his career. He's a little older now, so he wants to make the fights that are most worth his while, you know what I'm saying, for him and his family and his loved ones. So I don't see anything wrong with him contemplating a decision on who to fight next, whether it's Tyson Fury or Daniel Dubois, because I think you should go the Tyson Fury route. But let's say he does go the Daniel Dubois route, which is arguably the tougher fight, you know what I'm saying, not saying that Tyson Fury is a whole nother puzzle, but Daniel Dynamite Dubois is dynamite, you know what I'm saying, that loss could be explosive and detrimental to him ever fighting again, you know what I'm saying. So I think that his ability to ever fight again, detrimental to his ability to ever fight again. So I think that fight, you know, if you should have the Tyson Fury fight first if possible, and then maybe have the Daniel Dubois fight and then try to get your revenge on him. And then let's say Joseph Parker wins. Well, I think that fight probably has the least amount of intrigue, unless Joseph Parker beats Daniel Dubois in decisive fashion. You know what I'm saying? If he beats him in decisive fashion, then I think that'll have a lot of momentum to see if Joseph Parker can avenge his loss against Anthony Joshua, because Joseph Parker will be picking up a lot of momentum if he beats Dubois coming off of his win after recovering from 2 knockdowns on his way to victory against Zayla Big Bang Zhang. You know what I'm saying? So I think that all 3 options are great. You know what I think the likely scenario is that he'll be fighting Tyson Fury. I think that'd be dope, but I'll be cool with him fighting Daniel Dubois, you know, second most, and then third most I'll be cool with him fighting Joseph Parker if Joseph Parker manages to upset Daniel Dubois. So I think that Anthony Joshua, you know, he's in a pretty good position, man. I mean, the position that he's in right now, even though he's coming off of a loss, is probably the most advantageous position you could be in from coming off of a knockout loss, you know what I'm saying? So Anthony Joshua, he is a big star in boxing, a win or lose, and I do agree with Eddie Hearn that, you know, he's going to garner a lot of attention no matter which route he takes. Now let's talk about the timeline, right? Eddie Hearn said, hey, he's looking to fight twice next year, which is good news. You know, he'll be fighting in the summer or the winter, particularly looking to come back in either May or June. So that's good news too, man. So I think that he will come back in May or June. You know, like Eddie Hearn said, he'll probably start training at the top of the year in January, good Lord willing. And I think that it'll be against Tyson Fury, man. Once Tyson Fury does his little thing and recovers from his loss that he won against Alexander Usyk, then I think that he will hop back in the ring. And if he doesn't, it still gives Daniel Dubois or Joseph Parker enough time to recuperate and recover from the injuries sustained from their fight, and then have a fight in May or June, you know what I'm saying, after their showdown in February. So y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Who do you prefer AJ to fight? Did you like him to see him try to enact revenge on Daniel Dubois immediately, as soon as possible, or do you want to see if he could fight that Tyson Fury fight, you know what I'm saying, that's long overdue but still would generate a lot of attention and intrigue? Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. Don't forget to smack that like button, but most importantly, remember, with God we can do anything, without God we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.